deep inside another dimension, face battling barbarians and evil magic on a quest for adventure in a maze of monsters. This
is Bag of Dungeon. For those of you that are regulars to the channel, you may have noticed that I do some videos on Bag of Dungeon. This is a fantastic game from Gunpowder Studios over in the UK. This is my copy that I picked up through Noble Knight Games before I realized how easy it was to work with Gunpowder Studios directly, and I ordered my expansion, the Legends expansion, from them directly, and it arrived within about 2 weeks to the Midwest here in the United States. These are my hero cards. I've got the 4 basics and then the 3 that came with the Legends expansion. And I did take the time to laminate those because I do play the game quite a bit and I wanted it to last. You can see the components are really nice. There's some cards that come with the Legends expansion that give the characters some unique skills that you can level up. And there's also some additional side quests, and there's something called the Dragon Scrolls that you can add some variety to your adventures. And as you can see, the tiles to generate the random dungeon. There's the Dragon Scrolls right there. But the coolest thing about this game is that everything has the rules printed on it, and everything fits in this bag in my hand right here. You can take just that bag and have everything you need to play an entire dungeon crawl with up to 4 players, and it's going to be a different experience every single time. This is the closest that I've found to recreating that Christmas morning feel of playing Hero Quest for the first time as a young man. So, without further ado, I've got some exciting news that I found out about Bag of Dungeon just this morning. I opened my email this morning and I found out that Bag of Dungeon is going to have a sequel, Bag of Dungeon 2, The Cursed Forest by Gunpowder Studios. This is some fantastic news. Not only is it going to add 8 new heroes and a ton of new tiles, new enemies, new items, but it is also going to give me an opportunity to combine the 2 games together and have a massive Bag of Dungeon experience if I so chose. This is just a mock-up of some of the tiles. I don't know if these are finalized or not because this is not yet a production copy. But as you can see, this goes into a little bit about the creation of Bag of Dungeon 2, The Cursed Forest, and talks a little bit about what to expect whenever you adventure into the Cursed Forest. And the important thing to note is this is going to be headed to Kickstarter on July 15th. I am not a big proponent of Kickstarter, and I normally try to avoid Kickstarter at all costs. I even pay the exorbitant eBay fees to get Kickstarter stuff that I wanted at a later date. But in this case, I am fully on board. I am going to be kickstarting this game because the first game was such a great development. So without further ado, here are the things that excite me the most about this, the 8 new characters. This is the Wizard. The Wizard actually is one of the characters that you got with the Legends expansion, but if you look, the spells are different, and instead of action points, they are balanced to use health, and also you have 2 spells that were the same as the Wizard before, but the other 2 spells, Summon Familiar and Lightning Bolt, are different than the ones that the Wizard and the Legends expansion had. It also seems that this Wizard, the silhouette, is of a human, where the other was of a lizard man. Here you have the Half Ogre. The Half Ogre is going to be similar to the Minotaur from the Legends expansion, but he actually gets to start with a random weapon, shield, or armor. He's got 3 combat dice and 10 health, which makes him pretty beefy and pretty offensive as far as that goes. I can only assume that these are going to have dual-sided cards like most of the others did, where you have male and female versions of them on different sides. Here you have the Guardian, which seems to be some sort of a Trent or Treant. It's 2 combat dice plus 3, so it's going to be very reliable damage. It's got 12 hit points. It's immune to poison, and it has natural armor of 1, so it takes 1 less damage from every attack that it absorbs. So the Trent is going to be very durable and damaging, but it only has 2 hands and then 2 generic spots. Here's the Gnome Herbalist. The Gnome Herbalist has the standard 2 dice, but it also has a few heals it can do each game, and then also it has the ability to have its Raven collect dropped items from any tile for 2 action points. So that gives it a little bit of a halfling feel, and also a little bit of a healer feel to it. Very cool. Here is the Fairy Sear. The Fairy Sear, again, like the Trent, has fewer spots to carry things, but it can add an attack die of 1, or 1 extra die of magical attack per combat, and they can fly over quicksand and pits, which I assume are going to be extra obstacles that we'll have to deal with in the Cursed Forest. The Half-Elf Rogue. So this is going to have the ability to sneak, and then also can instant kill on criticals. With 2 dice, that means that you're going to have a 1 in 6 chance of getting an instant kill, because a critical is going to be on doubles. So that's definitely going to be a very, very handy ability to have, especially against some of those tougher monsters that you can pull occasionally. And here's the Woodland Hunter. This seems to be like your ranger type. It's going to have very reliable damage with 2 dice plus an additional +2. It can disarm traps on a 4 to 6, and can use crossbows one-handed, and their crossbows never break. So this is going to give you a little bit of a ranged option with some reliable damage, and 9 health, so not too bad there either. It also has the full array of item spots. And here is the Changeling. This is the most unique of the new characters. The Changeling has the ability to mimic any dead monster's combat die for 1 fight at a cost of 0 APs. You get to use this 3 times during the adventure, and there are tokens for this, presumably. So you could potentially have some really killer rounds whenever you take over some of the bigger monsters. It's really going to be a press your luck to see if you can get the better monsters before you have to use this. So those are the 8 new characters that we're going to find in Bag of Dungeon 2. Like I said, I am normally not a Kickstarter guy. I'm not a fan of doing Kickstarters because I'm just too impatient to wait on those things. But in this case, Gunpowder Studios has been very good to me, and I've enjoyed all their games, so I will be backing this game. Until next time, this has been Justin from Books, Bricks, and Boards. Good gaming, and God bless.